Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. James Carter. Have you ever woken up on a cold winter morning and felt your finger joints a bit stiff or perhaps a lingering heaviness in your stomach? After last night's dinner, you are not alone. At 60, I understand that feeling all too well. It's the moment our bodies begin to speak up after decades of faithful service. Just the other day, a patient of mine, Robert, he's 68, told me, "James, I'm just tired of swallowing a handful of pills every day just to take the edge off this joint pain." I smiled and pointed him toward an old friend sitting right there in his pantry, the ginger root. Many people see ginger as just a spice, but to me, a doctor who has spent half a lifetime studying senior health, ginger is nature's most brilliant chemist. Here's some good news you might not know. My colleagues at the University of Michigan discovered that ginger doesn't just soothe pain, it has an incredible ability to fight back against malignant cells. Or take a study from Iran which showed that just a bit of ginger powder can ease a migraine as effectively as expensive prescription drugs. We live in an age where everything is fast, but health requires slowness and understanding. Ginger isn't just an herb, it's a bridge between the ancient wisdom of Ayurvedic medicine and the most modern scientific evidence. Today, I want to share with you 5 ways that I and my patients use to awaken our inner energy using nothing more than the simplest ginger roots. 1. Awakening the blood, the symphony of ginger and honey. My dear friends, have you ever stopped to simply feel the pulse at your wrist? That is the sound of life, a red river working tirelessly to carry nutrients to every cell so we can stand tall in our 60s and 70s. But let's be honest, over time, that river can become a bit heavy and sluggish. I often remember the story of Sarah, a longtime friend. She used to complain about feeling lethargic as if a fog settled over her mind every morning. I smiled and told her, "Sarah, sometimes your blood just needs a conductor to start a new symphony. And that conductor is none other than the combination of ginger and honey." Modern science calls ginger a natural cleanser thanks to a compound called gingerol. It doesn't just warm the body, it stimulates circulation, helping blood reach the furthest nooks and crannies of our tissues. The way we perform this ritual requires stillness. Take a fresh ginger root and crush it to extract its most precious essence. I always advise my patients to let that juice rest in a glass jar for about 15 minutes, a necessary moment of silence for the sediment to settle. Then pour off the clear liquid and keep it in the fridge like a small treasure to use throughout the week. Every morning when the early light hits the windowsill and your stomach is still empty, mix 2 teaspoons of this ginger juice with 2 teaspoons of raw honey. The spicy kick of the ginger meeting the mellow sweetness of the honey creates a gentle electric current running through your body. Maintain this symphony for 48 days. It's not just drinking a glass of water, it's a way of saying thank you to the blood that has nourished you your entire life. Trust me, after one cycle, you'll feel lighter, as if the river has been cleared, ready to greet the most brilliant sunrises. 2. Soothing the digestion, liquid gold in a glass jar. Have you ever experienced this? After a cozy dinner with family, instead of feeling satisfied, you feel a strange heaviness right below your chest. Your stomach feels sluggish like a rusty old machine and sleep refuses to come. Henry, an old friend, once lamented, "James, it's like my stomach has forgotten how to work. If I eat just a little too much, I'm tossing and turning all night." I gave Henry a glass jar filled with golden ginger slices soaking in honey, and said, "Try this, Henry. This is the patience of the earth. Why do I call it liquid gold? Because it's more than food, it's the essence of waiting. Choose the freshest ginger peel, and slice it thin like flower petals. Layer them in a glass jar and submerge them in raw honey. But here's the secret, don't hide it in the dark. Cover the jar with a thin cotton cloth and let it sunbathe for 12 days. Under the sun, the honey and ginger dance together, transforming into a shimmering syrup. The ancient Ayurvedic doctors were right, ginger clears the microcirculation channels. When you mix a few of these slices with warm water morning and night, you aren't just drinking tea, you are gently awakening your digestive enzymes. Henry called me later and said it was the first time in years he felt lighthearted, literally. Magic doesn't always happen in high-tech labs. Sometimes it's found in the connection between our hands, the sunlight, and a few simple slices of ginger. 3. A shield for winter, the harmony of lemon and ginger. Do you ever feel a flicker of anxiety when the first chill of winter touches your doorstep? At our age, a cold isn't just a few sneezes. It's days of fatigue and the worried looks on our children's faces. I have a patient, Elena, 65, who told me that every winter she felt like a fortress under siege. She was afraid to walk in the park or even open a window. I told her, Elena, instead of running from the winter, let's build you a shield. This shield isn't made of steel. It's crystallized from nature's purest gifts, lemon, ginger, and honey. Why these three? From a medical perspective, we know vitamin C from the lemon is a brilliant transmitter, while the gingerol in the ginger acts like an army protecting your cells. When you blend them, it's no longer just a refreshment, it's a commitment to health from the inside out. Join me in this protective dance. You only need 4 teaspoons of fresh ginger juice, the warm lifeblood of the earth, mixed with 4 teaspoons of golden honey and 2 teaspoons of pure lemon juice. Stir it all into a cup of warm water. Hold the cup in your hands and breathe in that spicy warmth before taking small sips. Feel the strength spreading, reinforcing an immune system that might feel a bit fragile after all these years. You can drink this anytime as a ritual of self-love. Don't wait for your body to cry out before looking for medicine. Build your shield today, because at this stage of life, the greatest confidence is knowing you are fully protected. 4. Ginger basil tea, a source of still energy. My dear friends, have you ever felt your afternoons becoming a heavy burden? It's that moment when your eyelids feel heavy and your body is weary, yet your mind hesitates to reach for a cup of coffee. You fear the racing heart, the jitters, or another long night of tossing and turning. I often think of Thomas, an old friend of mine who is 72. Thomas loves his garden more than anything. But in recent years, he often had to abandon his rose bushes by 2 o'clock in the afternoon because he was simply exhausted. He tried turning to energy drinks and strong coffee, but the price was too high. It left him with restlessness and trembling hands. I invited Thomas to sit on my porch one afternoon and brewed him a special cup ginger basil tea. Why basil? In traditional medicine, basil is more than just a garnish. It is an herb for clarity and peace. When combined with the warming thermal energy of ginger, it creates what I call still energy, a kind of vitality that doesn't give you a temporary spike and crash, but rather a steady clarity from deep within your cells. Imagine standing in your small kitchen, boiling 4 to 5 cups of filtered water. As the water begins to ripple, crush a piece of fresh ginger and about 30 basil leaves. The moment you drop that mixture into the pot, a pure spicy aroma will fill the air, awakening your senses instantly. For a touch of earthiness, you can add a few dried coriander seeds. After just 3 minutes, pour that amber liquid into a mug, adding a bit of sweet jaggery and a few drops of lemon. Take a sip and you'll feel a refreshing wave sliding through your muscles like a new life force flowing through your veins. Thomas followed this ritual and later told me, "James, I don't feel that jolt like I do with coffee. I just feel strong enough to love life again." True energy at our age isn't about stimulation, it's about balance. And this cup of tea is the key to that balance. 5. The rejuvenating elixir, a harmony of watermelon and ginger. My dear friends, on those sweltering summer noons, when the heat seems to drain every ounce of our strength, you crave something cool enough to lower your temperature, yet soulful enough to nourish your spirit. I remember Martha, a 64-year-old patient of mine. She struggles with type 2 diabetes and often felt a sense of loss having to turn down every vibrant, sweet drink at family gatherings. Martha told me, "James, I just miss the feeling of enjoying something bright and colorful." I smiled and went into the kitchen to prepare a glass of what I called the rejuvenation. Did you know that a study from the University of Sydney showed ginger has a miraculous ability to help muscle cells absorb glucose without being overly dependent on insulin? When combined with watermelon, it's not just a refreshment, it's a wonderful supportive remedy for blood sugar management for people like Martha. Imagine holding a quarter of a ripe red watermelon, de-seeded and chopped. Put the pieces into a blender and add a piece of crushed fresh ginger. This spicy kick perfectly balances the cooling nature of the watermelon. Don't forget a handful of fresh green mint for a touch of coolness, a pinch of salt, a dash of black pepper to stimulate the palate, and finally 3 tablespoons of raw honey to mellow it all out. As the blender whirs, the colors meld into a shimmering liquid. Strain it to remove the pulp, leaving only the pure essence. Pour it into a glass, add a few ice cubes, and you will see springtime appearing right before your eyes. Martha took one sip and her eyes lit up. She realized that even at this age, she still has the right to enjoy the most wonderful flavors without fear. That is the true meaning of self-care. It's not about agonizing restriction, but about the wisdom to choose what is best. Take a sip and feel the youthfulness rising in your veins. Because life, no matter the age, deserves to be enjoyed fully and sweetly. A story to ponder. I have a friend who is also a longtime physician. He was once very skeptical of traditional medicine until he was tormented by arthritis himself. After 3 months of consistently drinking ginger tea every morning, the way I showed him, he was able to return to his weekend golf games. It proves that sometimes the simplest things bring the most sustainable results. A small tip for you. While ginger is wonderful, always listen to your body. If you are taking blood thinners or preparing for surgery, please take a moment to speak with your doctor. We use ginger to support our health, not to completely replace necessary medical prescriptions. And remember, 1 to 2 cups a day is plenty. Moderation is the key to health in our golden years. My friends, our conversation about these spicy ginger slices may be coming to a close here, but your journey of self-care is only beginning. You see, health after 50 doesn't come from distant miracles. It lies right in your hands, in the way you meticulously slice a piece of ginger or patiently wait for a jar of honey to soak up the afternoon sun. There is a saying I hold dear. Our bodies are temples, and the way we care for them is the way we respect life itself. I hope these 5 recipes aren't just dry notes to you, but become a part of your peaceful way of living. I would love to know of these 5 symphonies today. Which one resonated with you the most? Or perhaps you have a little ginger secret passed down from your grandmother. Leave a comment below. James is always here listening and cherishing every small story from you. If you felt these shares brought a bit of warmth or a new spark of inspiration, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button and that little bell icon. It's not just a way to support the Heal Fit Health channel, it's a way for us to stay in touch so that no one has to walk the path to health and clarity alone. Share this video with an old friend or a loved one. Sometimes a small act like sending a ginger tea recipe is your way of saying, I care about you. Thank you for spending this time here with me, James Carter. I wish you a peaceful day, a warm breath, and a heart always full of life. I'll see you in the next story.